It's under fair use as it's a parody. If you don't have a sense of humor, go fuck yourself. Welcome. Is this my reality? Is this your reality?
1988, the crime rate in the United States rises 400%. The once great city of New York becomes the one maximum security prison for the entire country.
Murder or mistake? Look, this reality has a real dark side. It keeps us divided, otherwise known as looking for outrage in all the wrong places. Let's take a look at what happened. So on May 1st of this year, Daniel Penny, a 24-year-old Marine Corps veteran from Queens, New York, ended the life of Jordan Neely aboard a Manhattan subway train after placing him in a lethal chokehold. Penny was charged with second-degree manslaughter and turned himself in to the police on Friday. Penny surrendered to New York police at the 5th Police Precinct on Friday morning. The DA's office said in a statement on Thursday afternoon that Penny would be arrested and charged with manslaughter in the second degree. Here is what the witnesses have said about the incident. You know, people were actually there. A straphanger who was on the subway when former Marine Daniel Penny placed Jordan Neely in the fatal chokehold said Thursday she's praying for Penny after it was revealed the 24-year-old would face charges tied to the high-profile case. Quote, "I hope he has a great lawyer. I'm praying for him," the 66-year-old woman who did not want to be identified told the Post Thursday night. "And I pray that he gets treated fairly. I really do. Because after all of this ensued, I went back and I made sure that I said thank you to him." Look, maybe it's just me, but I don't think you usually go pray and then say thank you to someone you just saw committing intentional cold-blooded murder. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Oh, it is New York. The subway rider said Neely, who had a history of mental illness, was threatening passengers after he hopped on the F train in Manhattan. Look, how many times do we need to hear this shit about people with mental illness out there who need and just cannot get any help? He said, "I don't care. I'll take a bullet. I'll go to jail," because he would kill people on the train, the woman said of Neely. He said, "I will kill a motherfucker. I don't care. I'll take a bullet. I'll go to jail." Okay, look, sounds like a normal ride on the subway. I mean, who doesn't want to kill a motherfucker? Take a bullet, go to jail. It's just a normal commute, right? The witness said Penny did not initially engage with Neely during the wild rant until things got out of hand and he felt the urge to step in. This gentleman, Mr. Penny, did not stand up, the writer said, did not engage with the gentleman. He did not say a word. It was all Mr. McNeely that was threatening the passengers if he did not get what he wants. Okay, so in this reality, threatening is not a threat. This guy had 3 violent crimes acting the same way in the past. Do you really need to wait until someone else gets hurt again? Do you?
Familiar with the matter, tell ABC News that Marine veteran Daniel Penny is set to turn himself into police as soon as tomorrow to face criminal charges. This after he choked fellow New York City subway rider Jordan Neely to death on a train.
If you're enjoying this uncensored content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and help us get out of YouTube's chokehold. Neely, the upstanding citizen he was, had a criminal history with more than 40 arrests. I don't care about most of this record, but the 3 violent crimes, one very recently on innocent strangers, it really gets me. How many is enough before you're removed from society? Fact is, if the mayors and prosecutors did their friggin' jobs, people like Daniel Penny would not have to be in this situation of choking a mentally disturbed man on a friggin' subway. Look, just in November 2021, Neely bashed a 67-year-old female stranger in the face as she exited a subway station, breaking her friggin' face. Now, look, Penny was a Marine, and they're trained to perceive danger to those around them, and he did kind of what he was trained to do. Everyone's bringing up Neely's mental issues, rightly so. But what about Penny? Is anyone asked if he has PSTD from his time in the Marines? Does his mental state not also matter? What we know is how we treat veterans with mental illness. The same way we treat the homeless. Oh, wait, a lot of vets are homeless. Yet, we got a shit ton of cash for the Ukraine, right? Neely was a Michael Jackson impersonator who frequently performed in New York's Times Square. He was not a very good Michael Jackson impersonator. I'm going to put that on the record right now. My personal experiences with Neely. Look, I live and I've been doing work for over 30 years in all boroughs of New York City. And I've heard many, many firsthand stories about this so-called Michael Jackson impersonator. Most of them on construction sites, as they take the subway. You knew to watch out for this guy. This guy was a problem. He's unbalanced. This MJ impersonator, and Elmo too, but that's another story. This guy was a nuisance and a violent problem for years. There's so many lost people just like this with nothing to live for. The problem is that's not good for the rest of us just trying to live our damn lives. If the powers that be are going to ignore the mentally ill and piss money away instead on bullshit like the war in Ukraine, if the police are going to be afraid or prevented from doing their jobs, defunded, if riots are allowed to happen, crime and violent crime is allowed to shoot through the roof, pardon the pun, if we're just going to let anyone walk across our borders, and if these spineless Soros prosecutors refuse to uphold the law, we have a two-tiered justice system. If that's how it's going to be, there's going to be more of these incidents, just like this one on the train. People will protect themselves and their loved ones. Some, they'll even protect total strangers. No matter how much they cry about it, people aren't willing to die for some childlike ideology. This is just a horrendous situation all the way around. There is no winner here. But the one thing taken from this has to be acknowledged until we, as a country, a society, put the proper amount of funding in the right places. They can't just steal the money like the big pharma usually does. We have mental health problems, and we have to protect the honest citizen from these threats. You're going to keep seeing more incidents like this. Unless this is exactly what they want to happen. It's almost like they intentionally want us to feel unsafe. I don't know. That's crazy talk, right? What say you? Now get the fuck out of here.